Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Dr. Shamim Nazir. Today I want to talk a little bit about my investment strategy. I first started, investing as in my 401ks. Like a lot of physicians, most of our jobs required 401ks, and fortunately I was at a state university when I was in residency and then again as an attending, and we had a really great match with our contributions, so that really helped me accumulate my retirement savings early on. And then I really just kind of set it and forget it. And I was so busy with other things in my life at the time because shortly after I graduated from residency and at my first job, I had a child. And then a couple of years later, I had another child. So I was obviously very occupied being a mom and being a full-time ER physician. And I had let my husband at the time take care of the finances. So I really didn't put a lot of interest into managing my investments or my finances at that time. And then after I got divorced, I started really taking a greater interest. And I was very aggressive about paying off my debt. That was the most important thing to me. And I had extra debt after the divorce. And then I had also participated in a small partnership with a couple of my colleagues for an urgent care center. And then I bought myself out of that partnership. So that was another line of debt that I had to pay off. So I had all these things kind of stacked up but I was very aggressive about paying off that debt. And I kept my expenses down by buying a small, modest home and staying in my old car as long as possible and did all those appropriate things. However, I didn't really, again, take much interest in understanding my finances and investing. And I think a lot of physicians are like myself. They don't really want to get involved too much. They want to hire someone else to do it, which I think is good and bad. I mean, it's good to have a financial professional advise you. Obviously, they have more knowledge and they understand the different products and services available and they can get you to the right place. But it's always best to understand your own finances, obviously. And about 10 years out of residency is when I first hired a financial planner, and I got my disability insurance, my life insurance, and 529s for my children, and I had another 401k and an IRA. So all of that was, again, invested in the stock market. I really didn't look into alternative investments until a few years ago. I wanted to create some sort of passive income or alternative investment to help grow my retirement accounts faster. And at that time, I didn't have as much money to invest, so I wanted to move some of my retirement accounts to a self-directed IRA and use that. So that's what I did. I took a small amount of my total portfolio, moved it to a self-directed IRA, and then divided that into about 4 different real estate investments. I invested in self-storage, multifamily, and land development. And I stayed in a reasonably similar geographic area. One of the investments was in Oklahoma, and the rest were all in Texas. And I did that because I'm most familiar with Texas. That's where I live. If you know anything about private investments like real estate, it's very important in real estate to understand the market and the sub-market that you're investing in. And because I live in Texas, I felt most comfortable staying in Texas and in the cities that I'm most familiar with. Oftentimes you might find really great deals outside of your hometown, outside of your state, but you have to really understand that sponsor and that market really well before you invest. So, and if you do choose to invest with a sponsor out of state, it's important to ask them how long they've been in that market, what kind of relationships and infrastructure they have in that market, and how many other properties they have there, etc. Because it is, as you know, probably even where you live, the market can be extremely different and just within miles or blocks of one another, right? So that's kind of how I chose to invest in alternative assets, really just commercial real estate, because I feel that real estate is a more stable asset. It doesn't change very fast. It's a hedge against the stock market, meaning it doesn't correlate with the stock market. It doesn't correlate with inflation. So it's a good hedge against those two factors. And so if you want to invest in commercial real estate, it's a good way to diversify away from the stock market. And And then even within real estate, you can diversify further, meaning you can invest in different asset types within real estate. And then you can also invest with different sponsors and in different geographical areas if you so choose. And the important thing is when you do first meet a sponsor is to vet them carefully, get to know them, get to know their history, their track record. If you can, speak with their prior investors or other professionals who have a relationship with them, such as their CPA or attorneys. And then the other thing you can do is just start small. You don't have to certainly put all your eggs in any one basket. And when you do choose to invest, you can just start with the minimum and go through a full cycle with that sponsor and see how you feel. And that's somewhat what I did. I put a small amount with each sponsor that I was getting to know, and I plan to just, go through the full cycle and see if I want to invest with them again. And I think another thing that you could do is if you are choosing to invest in alternative assets, allocate that portion of your portfolio and don't add to it. Just put that 100,000, 250,000, or whatever amount that you want to start investing with. Just keep rolling that over into the next investment. And so when you exit that one deal, you can just reinvest instead of adding from the rest of your portfolio. And I think that's a nice conservative way to invest in real estate, diversify through real estate without risking your retirement savings. I'm also coming across a lot of other alternative assets such as oil and gas and mineral deeds. And I'm just learning about those, so I haven't really invested in any of those, or private equity or venture capital. I know there's a lot of very exciting opportunities out there. Obviously, the greater the reward, the greater the risk. And so I'm taking my time getting to understand them better, getting to understand the sponsors, and just, building my knowledge base and my relationships with these groups. So if you have any further questions, if you'd like to learn more about how commercial real estate syndications work, I have a free ebook that is in the link below, and you can download that or go to my website and definitely book a call. And I'd love to chat with you, get to know you, what is your journey and what are your goals. And my goal as a doctor investor is really to create a sense of community and camaraderie so that we can learn and grow together and share our resources and information and knowledge. So I hope you'll continue to follow, and I hope you like this video. If you'd like to see other topics covered, please let me know, and I'll see you next time.